Welcome back to my channel. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I was just getting me a bite to eat from McDonald's. How y'all doing this evening? What's going on? Is it hot enough out there for you? Because this 90 degrees been for the birds, for real. I mean, this was really a hot summer. And it was a bloody summer. A lot of murders. Ooh, looking for my ashtray. A lot of murders. So I've been trying to stay cool. But in this video, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Please hit the like button. It really helps the channel out and keep me in the algorithm. And I appreciate all my new subscribers. Thank you so much. This is gonna be a brief video on Keke Palmer, because allegedly her ex, she got 11 children, and she said she's not ruling out a 12th. But her last child was born with a 13 chromosome, and he's in and out the hospital. So she's been going through. But here, allegedly, well, her ex-husband, whom she divorced, is her third husband that she has divorced, alleges that while they were still married, she was sleeping with her cousin. I don't know if it's true. I really don't care, but this is what the news is, and this is what we're going to talk about briefly. Hold on 1 second. I wanted to say, okay, here we go.
Hey, you guys. I'm sorry I had to come back on here because the video ended and I accidentally cut it off. But I wanted to come back on here and finish what I was saying. And so I want to tell you guys that I haven't been able to see my children for over a year. I was only able to see my son. I left, again, as I was stating in my testimony, I left in November.
Now, this is her ex-husband, the third one.
The 4th, 2023, November the 4th or so, 2023. And I did not see my son, Keriah, until the end of June, which was the divorce court for me and Keke Wyatt, where we would have the divorce finalized. And I wasn't able to talk to him and see my kids. It was impossible for me to call her because I refused contact with her because of the maniac, her maniac ways, the demonic, the belittling, the verbal abuse that's done for life, as I stated. And so at this particular time, I wasn't able to talk to them anyway because her and her cousin were living together. I'll call it allegedly or whatever you want to say. November the 3rd, the 4th or so after I left, 3 weeks late.
Is it just me, or does he seem kind of zesty? And if not zesty, he certainly is a weak man. I'm just saying, that's my observation. Excuse me.
Larry was living there in the house. She had moved Larry in, which is her cousin, Larry Weathers. And he was married, still married to his wife, Ebony Weathers. That's these guys. Okay? I'll put that picture back up here in a minute. But forgive me, my camera is over here, so if I'm looking over here, it's just better for me. The way I have my camera, you got a bigger picture when I'm looking at myself.
Get to the story.
The camera's over here, so don't pay any attention to that. So anyway, I was not able to, when I left, and I had to leave for the last time, as I expressed, my oldest son was bumping into me. She had confronted my oldest son, I was the stepfather, his stepfather, for stealing her money. And he had been taking out over $100 a day, and she allowed it to go on for about 7 days. And so he had racked up over $1,000 he had taken from her out of the ATM. He was taking $100 out of the ATM, plus him and his girlfriend Takaya were spending $250 to $300 every other day. The expenses were every other day was like $300, $250 was racking up every 2 days of them going out to eat, going to different places, to fun places and stuff, and ordering stuff off Amazon. My second oldest son, again, was the stepfather. That's why I'm talking like this.
I'm gonna have to put that on pause because I ain't gonna be able to watch him like that because he kind of weak to me. I'm just saying, I like strong men. You know, definitely not my type of man. But anyway.
He had recently, I don't know, 5 or 6 months prior, put the card, his mother's debit card, Keke's debit card, on his older brother's phone. Raja has had her debit card since he was 14 years old. She allowed him, when Michael Jamar, her ex-husband, left, Raja, got him a card from the bank, or another debit card, his own card, and at 14 had him paying the rent, the lease, the mortgage, or whatever, the house, and paying bills. And so he would take her car and he'd buy and do whatever he wanted to. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. He ate whatever he wanted to eat. Steak, lobster, shrimp. It don't matter what. He got whatever he wanted. And in my time being there over 5.5 years, it's sometimes 5 or 6 boxes coming every day. Sometimes it was 2, but it was something coming almost every day from Amazon. It seemed like, from Raja, with her money. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. She allowed it, and that's her business. I had no say so, and she was raising the older children, raising monsters because they were spoiled. And so sometimes she would not give the children money, and Bean did not have her card for all these years. He recently, before I left in 2023, November 2023, again, as I stated, his younger brother, Raja, who had the car since he was 14, he had it put on his Apple phone, on the iPhone, to where he could, buy stuff. He had the card on his phone, so it was the same thing as having a physical card. That recently had happened, just before I left. So Raja was doing whatever he wanted. He went through like 13 cars in 2 months' time. Lying, fake pay stubs, and all this stuff to get it done, to get the vehicles. And doing all this mess, getting checks from CarMax, and all this foolishness that they could, they knew it would put him in prison, put him in jail. Fraud. And so I couldn't say anything about this. I knew all along. She was so ignorant. He'll tell her mom, deposit this check from me, from CarMax or what. Oh, okay. How did you get this? Dummy. God forgive me, just ignorant. And so, with all that being said, um, she confronted these. She confronted Dean. He was the only one that's called into the room. He was the only one that was called into the room, and confronted him about taking her money. Now Raja, on the other hand, for the most part, she never confronted Raja. She allowed him to do whatever. He buy stuff. He buy whatever he want. And it's just when it got outrageous sometimes, I remember being times, we were on our way to the airport and all different vehicles. He had gotten a Mercedes Benz from CarMax, and she noticed he had withdrawn. I was driving her to the airport. She had a show. And she said, "What are you doing? You just took out $1,500 and you didn't call me and ask me for what?" "Oh, Mom, I got to fix this oil pan. I got to fix something on the truck." Didn't even say anything to her. He was that bold because he had been spending. Now, meanwhile, I didn't let Raja know, but Bean knew, my oldest son, Mimi knew, but I kept at least $15,000 cash in my car. I had a safe in my car. I also had 2 different accounts. And Miss Wyatt, when I came into the marriage, she told me, she said that she would like to be private, with her money and everything. I said, "I'm not here for that." No, when I would take her to the bank, she walked up by herself. That's none of my business. I'm not there for that. Again, excuse me if I'm looking off. The camera is over here. But this is better with me talking, just doing it this way, so y'all don't pay no attention to that. I'm explaining that I'm nipping this in the bud because it's actually foolishness, but I have to nip this in the bud before I go into full-time ministry. And so this is the day that I had to leave that house forever. And God set it up. He used the older kids, Bean and Raja, primarily Bean at the time. And so, and Raja. And so she brought Bean into questioning for taking her money that day that I had to leave and stealing her money. He began to lie. He lied even on my older sister, saying that he had to get edibles and he had to send all this stuff to Arizona. And he had to he had to send all these things and whatnot, lying on her. That this is where the money was going to. And it was him and Takaya ordering stuff off the internet, clothes, you name it, going out to eat, spending it, different spots, fun spots that they're going to, and without saying anything to her. And so, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mom. She said, "Well, then why were you, if you spend it $300 a day, you and Takaya, why are you taking out $100 a day?" "Oh, well, I was just taking it out because I didn't want you to be mad. I didn't want to take out too much." It was just a bunch of mess. And so Raja ended up coming in the room. And so he's coming in the room to so-called take up for his older brother. And because Raja was his mother, she looked at him like that was her God, whatever he wanted to do. He didn't have to, Raja, the older children, they didn't have to respect nobody but Keke, their mother. She'll jump on them. She'll put her hands on them, slap them, beat them down, whatever. But anybody else saying anything to her kids, the thought was, she'll kill them. She'll take them out. I'll kill you for messing with my children. For if you say one word to my kids, her children were her God, but Raja was her God. And so she allowed him to just do what, and so she created a monster. Plenty of times, there's this particular story, my oldest son was with Mimi, and they were in the Suburban, and he always was involved with road rage. He hated most human beings, people. He didn't like people. And the only people he liked was someone that would kiss his behind. And I was always kissing behind. I kissed all my children behind. It wasn't fake. It was love. But you get sick and tired You know, I love my children. I love past them being spoiled and them having the.
Yeah, he weak as hell. Never would have been a man of my choice. He kissing kids behinds. Ain't no way. Uh-uh. No, couldn't have been a man of mine. Ugh. And he's zesty.
These monstrous characteristics, but she caused it by the way she raised them. She raised them to not have to respect anybody, and but her, and everything like that. One particular occasion, my kids came home and told my oldest son, Mimi, they were probably afraid. Raja, there was a lady he was following. She didn't get out of the way quick enough. He was trying to bully her he had a big old Suburban that belonged, my wife, her Suburban. And he followed the woman home and did donuts in her yard, in her flower bed, and tore up her whole yard. And the children were worried, Mimi and Bean, anyone could have came out with a firearm and laid them down, out of the house. It could have been deadly. And stuff like this happened. Calling women in Kroger's in different places, the B word, the BITCH word. For 40-year-old black women, 50-year-old black women, and she could have had a son in the parking lot. She could have had a son in the store or anything, and it would have been over. He getting chased home on the freeway because he done pissed somebody off or did some type of road rage foolishness, and calling his mother, saying he had to call the police. He's afraid somebody's trying to follow him home, that they're going to try to kill him because he has done something foolish. He done flicked somebody off. He done did this and that. And he's going over 100 miles an hour trying to get it away from them now. So he would do stuff, but then be a coward and not be able to back it up and want somebody, put his mother, and me, or anybody else in jeopardy to have to defend him. And so this young man, when I turned 21, I'm going to get a gun. And we weren't mad at each other or anything at the time, but I remember it was just a little discussion. He said, yeah, Zach, you too big. I would have to shoot you. I grew up around Detroit, Michigan. I lived in the suburbs. But every time I went out,
I'm sure you did. Because you definitely ain't from Detroit the way you you are a nice man, but you are a weak man. Mm. Wow.
Somebody was getting killed. Individuals, 2 or 3 people getting shot to death. I've had people shot and killed standing 20 feet away from me. The bullets ran out. 15 shots from a 40 caliber handgun. I've been at the cabaret years ago where I was with friends and with the wrong crowd, and a birthday party at a cabaret in Detroit, Michigan, and the bouncers put drug dealers out and they roughed them up.
Okay, let's move past that.
It was her house. And so she was always calling me broke and all of this stuff. But her money was her money. And, I didn't have anything to do with it. I didn't know however much money she had. That was never none of my business. She didn't know that I had money coming in. That was none of her business. Remember, her money was none of my business. My money was none of her business. Since we're doing it that way, I'm not there for that. I'm there, and so I could drop down $700 weekly. Oh, keep that. Don't say that for dinner tonight. Tip the waitress, because she'll tip the waiter for you $500-$600, $350, $400. I'm not rich, okay, but I did have money coming in, and I didn't have to work. I had money coming in monthly, weekly. She didn't know about it, but I don't know about hers. It's there for love and family, right? And so I'm with you. I'm like, cool, And so anytime the children needed money or something, they knew they could come to me. And where did I go? To the car. The only person I kept that from was Raja, because he loved money. you know. And so, but I had a safe anyway in the whip. You know, he couldn't have got in there, but whatever. Okay. And so, well, he had my keys. He could have, if he found it, or he knew he could have, taken the safe and to try to saw it off.
Okay, let me move past this part.
Whatever. That woman got or beat her up, got a knife in her purse, or let alone a firearm. And then I have to get a call about my younger daughter not ceased to exist. Okay. Well, shortly after she had whooped a bean and he fell on her and was holding it down, she was stopping the mess, kicking him, whatever. And Keke had pulled the gun on. A couple years later, she was spitting in Kimar, my younger son. He recorded the video. She was spitting in his boy's face. Kimar sent the video to me. He showed me. I had it on my phone. I kind of hinted at it, but I told him I saw the video. I had it on my phone where she's spitting in this boy's face on the bus, calling him all type of bitchs and all this stuff, spitting, flying in his face. Well, he walked away from it. He walked away from it, and something she kept going on with it or whatever, bullying him, and somehow or another he ended up turning around her, talking about he's scared and this and that. Anyway, he ended up beating her up. Listen, he broke her nose, he got the better of her, and he beat her up. And guess what happened? She was on the bus, unconscious, and we got a call. We were out of town for one of Keke's shows. She was unconscious, not breathing. And Keke's running around the hotel. She had a show. This is before a show. About to lose her mind. And calling Andre and all this on the phone and everybody praying and everything and all this. Y'all, I'm very embarrassed having to tell all of this. A nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger. I said, God, why'd you do this to me? I believe this was the...
God ain't had nothing to do with that. You did that to yourself. Because that don't sound like a marriage. Your money's supposed to be together. I can kind of understand about the children, as far as discipline. But no, you weak. Get to the part, okay, I think. Oh, excuse me. I think this is it.
To get at that bank account. Okay? And so after he locked it in and convinced her and told her, you got to divorce Zachariah. It's got to stop. And his manipulation. 2 manipulators. Okay? She shaved her hair off after I left. Okay? 2 manipulators. And so...
And I don't know if y'all know, that's definitely a ritual. Do y'all remember when when Britney Spears shaved her head off? Sinead O'Connor. It's a humiliation ritual when you shave your hair off.
He convinces her, you got to divorce him and everything. And so once Larry secured that she was getting a divorce, the goal was this, is for Larry to get his divorce, her to get her divorce. She thought, I think he was already divorced, but he called Ebony after he was telling her he locked it in, asking his wife for a divorce. So this woman stole her cousin away from his wife and had her own cousin to come live with her, and they began an ancestral relationship, having sex. And
I'm done. Is that true? That's allegedly. I'm gonna have to Google that. So Keke divorced her husband, her cousin divorced his wife, and then they got together.
A sexual relationship. And they said they're going to start a church. Hopefully you guys can see that. It might be backwards. We're starting a church. Y'all guys can kind of put that together. I don't know if it's going to show up backwards on the screen or not. But hey, everybody, we're starting a church, and in the video, she's taking the video at her home in her bedroom. She passes the phone to her cousin Larry Weathers, okay, and to my partner, you know, we're going to be starting a church in February, and look at this. Look at this mess. Nikki Gilbert goes and does a whole interview on them, and she put a small clip it up, 3-minute clip it. I don't know if it was 3 minutes. She goes to Sound of Atlanta, the name of the church. Y'all remember this? Sound Atlanta. Okay, look how all the receipts are here. Okay, this is Larry Weathers. This is Keke. Now let's get Ebony. Let's get some pictures. Let's do this the right way. Where's my iPad? Y'all give me a second.
Well, let me move this right on the lawn.
Hey girl, yeah, you done cut off all your hair and she's sitting up there with your husband, Ebony. That's my sister. I love her. All right. Let's go to some pictures of the church. Now, mind you, this I kind of feel bad. I did all this talking about the kids. We're 47 minutes in, but we gonna keep it rocking and rolling. Okay. I kind of feel bad because this is the more interesting stuff. Okay. Let's go down here to the church. All right. Let's quit beating around the bush. Larry, he couldn't take it anymore. The abuse and all that stuff, and she was having to pay for him. See, she having to buy him. Had to put the money on the nightstand.
It sounds like she paid for you too. You didn't work, but you had money coming in. Sound like she paid for you too.
He paying all the musicians, the church, and she and like dang it, where's the picture at? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hold up. And so, like the new guy, Mr. Anthony Hardaway, I'm just kidding, Mr. Anthony Wyatt, allegedly, you were paying your cousin, Mr. Larry Weathers, to sleep with you, to be there with you, to live with you. But guess what? He couldn't take it anymore. Yeah, Larry Weathers Live, Facebook. He should be deleting it in a little bit with all the stuff that's going to be coming out. He should be shutting his page down a little bit. So get it while you can if it's still up. This is the church, Sound Atlanta. Okay, allegedly. Sound Atlanta. And so Larry, after I left, okay, after I left, that relationship lasted. It ended until Mother's Day of 2024 is when Larry had enough. He left. Okay, they've been getting into it, all this stuff. Okay. And so Mother's Day 2024. So I guess that was March. Yeah, March. The church, by the way, the church started in February, March, April. It ended at the end of April, March. So Larry left He left around Mother's Day, I believe.
You said that 3 times.
And he didn't go with her. She came back. His stuff was gone. He was gone. Okay. Allegedly, she was trying to have a baby with her own cousin, Larry. Yeah. The goal is for them to get their divorces and then get married as cousins. That's where this guy comes in. Okay? The bowling alley dude. Handsome guy. Okay? I'm not a hater. I was proud of her for being with someone that she's not related to.
You zesty as hell.
Sick. Okay? But guess what, honey? All his other women, you didn't talk and find out? Let me throw this out here. If y'all know I'm a prophet. So if I get you this Rolls Royce Wraith, of course she ain't gonna put in his name. I don't think she that stupid. If I lease this Rolls Royce Wraith, it's yours as long as you stay here. Here's a question mark. What can I do to get you to stay?
Damn.
Money.
Damn.
Okay. I think y'all understand.
Damn.
So if you you got to pay to play. So while she had called me broke and talking about broke this and that, Larry and Mr. She has been coming out of all kind of money to go from her cousin. This guy, the new guy, was introduced after Larry left. So right after Larry left, Freddie O introduced Anthony to her. A setup. Go get that money. And he's letting you know when y'all get
wow.
Be careful, watch your mouth, because he's
wow.
The people that got money, the owners can become beggars, is what Mr. Anthony is saying. Watch yourself, humble yourself, because he's saying people going to be rich and to be poor and be the workers, okay? And so a lot of women wondering what's going on because they got money invested in it, okay? I just did it this way, and
I don't even know what to say now. I'm really at a loss of words. I ain't know it was gonna be this juicy. Let me see what this is.
You were investing in this person, not for self-gain, but you were investing to make this the best they could be. Unfortunately, the individual in question was never going to operate from that level of life and trust that you were extending. And I don't know how open you are to this, but your grandmother does come through. All right, and she's giving you a big hug, and she says you're tired with it because she says you have protected and you've provided for the family. You have done so much for Who are you? Because after this, you felt alone. You felt, who do I open up to? Because I don't know if I can trust anyone. Your energy is about, I want to help this person and I want to uplift this person. Oh, that's me, so both of you. But are you doing it for people that are genuine? Are you doing it for people that are looking for stuff? Well, we don't find out they're not genuine until the betrayal comes.
Well, who is this woman?
She wants the million. I just asked her if she could, just please leave. And sometimes when people do those things, it's just to cause damage. Yes, the objective, to cause damage. But it just also proves that you never loved me and you never was really you was never really in my corner, right, to begin with, right? But unfortunately, this individual came into your life with that intention to get close to you, to use you to benefit themselves, okay? So this was never a friendship. This was a person that came in with the motive to get close and utilize your connections. Wow. Everything that you said was not said in confidence to this person, or they weren't receiving it in confidence. Let me correct myself. We're a special group. So this individual was actually paying attention to what you were saying because they knew that they would use it at the right time. So I want you to remember you did nothing wrong. Because the part of you is thinking, maybe I should have handled it differently. Maybe I should have been cautious how I ended this friendship. You are feeling guilty for the end, okay? You should not. You are a loving person. Whenever you bring people into your circle of trust, you share and you overshare because that's who you are. You are kind and you give. You are giving. You are not hurt by the betrayal. You are hurt. You've lost a friend, someone that you loved. You actually loved this person. And you did not see this person as in come and stay in my home, I would look after you. You saw this person as someone that you want to groom and grow to be the best they can be. You were investing in this person, not for self-gain, but you were investing to make them the best they could be. Unfortunately, the individual in question was never going to operate from that level of love and trust that you were.
Wow, that's good.
This is not the first person that she's giving you a big hug. And she says you're tired with it because she's it. Yeah. Right? I'm not going to phone you and like go deep in. Okay, I know what's happening because of my gift. But the point is, when somebody is too much.
This is off of Tamar Braxton's page.
Why does this individual want to know so much? Are they moving? Right, ammunition against me. A person that loves you doesn't feel the need to go so deep. You will share when you want to share. When you're ready. This person kept asking, wanting to be around you, kept wanting to be around your circle, right? And if you were honest with yourself, there were times where you felt uncomfortable, but you felt, no, maybe I'm overthinking it, and you kept pulling them in, right? Trust yourself. And your grandmother says that's your weakness. She says you're too lovely. She says, from a little girl, you would always want to please others and forget about your.
But my question is, was Bella today, my daughter Bella, what happened? She's the same way. I've gotten calls from her teachers saying that I need for Kiyoshi to focus on herself because she's so busy helping everybody else in class that she's not helping herself.
She takes after you.
No, she was born on my birthday.
What I want you to take away from this is if my daughter is becoming, I need to change to show her strong.
Yes, and I say that all the time. I'm like, Lord, please, I don't want my daughter to suffer what I have suffered. I don't
Wow, that's
want
a
that
fact.
for her.
Okay, enough of that. Every time I say this is gonna be a quick video, I'm just shocked. I don't have no words for what her ex-husband said. Let me see if I can find this. Okay, here we go.
I'm sure that you heard the rumors about me. Oh, be my first love. I wanna know for you.
I realized it a year ago when I was sitting in a jail cell for 2 hours. All right, y'all, buckle up because we're diving into the wild, unpredictable, and seriously jaw-dropping life of the one and only Keke Wyatt.
This is my life, honey. The good, the bad, the ugly. Welcome to Keke Wyatt's world.
Guess what? I sing and act for a living. Get more shoes, you get more food, you get more vacations, you get more everything. This R&B diva is not just known for those powerhouse vocals. Oh no, she's also had her fair share of drama, scandals, and more husbands than a reality TV show contestant. From juggling motherhood, and honey, we're talking about a lot of kids, to her whirlwind marriages, some messy public fallouts,
I am singing to your face.
and raising a son with special needs. Oh, so we're eating our oxygen tube? Let's see. Keke's life is straight out of a soap opera. And let's not forget, she's still out here slaying with that voice. All right.
I did that one time. Honey. But they like it, so I do it.
Ready? Let's spill all the tea. Kitara Siobhan Wyatt, or as we all know her, Keke, was born on March 10th, 1982 in Indianapolis, Indiana. And listen, this girl has always been about the music. With a gospel singing family, her mom was a singer, her dad a church organist and pastor, so you know she was born to slay.
Were you a pastor's kid? Yes. My dad, he's actually an ordained, he's a bishop now.
Keke grew up with that musical fire in her blood. And she wasn't just singing hymns on Sunday. Oh no, by age 5, she was belting out the tunes. And by 10, she recorded her first gospel song. Let that sink in. 10 years old. Some of us were barely getting through school without losing our homework. And Keke was already in the studio. But here's the kicker. Keke was never going to stay in that gospel lane forever. R&B was calling her name, and you know she answered.
It's like, just because my daddy is a minister does not mean that I have to be perfect. Exactly.
And let me tell you, her music career, it's been one wild ride. We're talking 5 studio albums. Yes, 5. 2 albums that sadly never saw the light of day, 12 sizzling singles, 4 major collaborations, and 9 iconic music videos by the late 1990s. She teamed up with Avant, and her smash hit duet, My First Love, dropped in 2000. If you were alive and listening to R&B back then, that song had us all feeling some type of way. But don't get too comfortable. We're just getting started. Her collab with Avant wasn't just a one-hit wonder situation. Sis had vocals. I mean, real deal. Take you to church, make you want to cry kind of vocals. After My First Love, she was on everyone's radar. Her debut album, Soul Sister, came out in 2001. And yes, I do regret the dance. And honey, it didn't disappoint. Now, baby, I've been thinking about how you've been acting. I don't want to turn my back on you.
This is Fair Use, YouTube, 1976, the Fair Use Act. I'm commenting on the video, and I'm just amazed because she still got them vocals. Yes, she do. She still got them vocals. I'm gonna move past this.
Their heated altercations. Because I was like, yes, I did stab the guy, but it was in self-defense. Yes, you heard that right. Now, we don't condone violence, but let's just say this marriage was more toxic than reality TV. By 2010, Keke was done.
It was really, really hard to get out of that situation because I had already had 4 babies. Please help me now, God, please. And I just left.
On the next guy, whatever the past guy did. So, like, how did you deal with that?
Went through a whole year of just talking and hanging out and being friends. And so initially, I just wanted to help her get through this tough situation that she was in. So
divorce papers filed, and she was out. But here's where Keke's story really turns from drama to chaos. After Ramit, you'd think Keke might take a breather from love, right? Wrong. Keke said next and married Michael Jamar Ford, a former minister. Oh, the irony. The couple had a bunch of kids. Yes, we'll get to that in a second. But like all good things in Keke's life, this marriage too hit the rocks in a very public way. In 2017, when Keke was 8 months pregnant, yes, 8.
When you're 8 months pregnant, your husband got the nerve to tell you that he wants a divorce. I am so done with Michael Jamar.
Michael Jamar decided to pull the plug on their relationship, and sis was not having it. Keke, being Keke, did what any self-respecting diva would do. She put him on blast during an Instagram rant, letting the world know her man was walking out on her while she was carrying their child. Can you believe that? The drama. But let's be honest, this wasn't the first or last time Keke would have some man drama. When we say Keke Wyatt has a big family, we're talking big. As of 2023, she's rocking a jaw-dropping 11 kids. Yup, you heard me right, 11. And somehow, this woman still manages to stay fabulous, slay every performance, and hit those high notes like it's nothing.
She does.
Seriously, how does she do it?
Love most of all, and God, honey, and the help of my husband, my stay-at-home dad. No, maybe when we go out and somebody's trying to run off, but then that rarely happens because I assign a little one to a big one. So you're responsible for this one. I count heads. I have to go.
At this point, Keke could run her own mini nation, but instead, she did the next best thing. Started her own reality TV show. Honestly, who wouldn't tune in to watch this supermom wrangle that many kids while serving us diva realness on the daily? And it's not just about having a lot of kids. Keke is also incredibly open about the challenges she's faced, especially when it comes to her son who has special needs.
3 whole days straight, I've been awake. He may be nonverbal. He can say mom, but that's about it.
Her son Raja was diagnosed with leukemia, and Keke has been very vocal about how hard it was on her as a mother to deal with such a devastating diagnosis. But in true Keke fashion, she fought through it. Her son is now in remission, and she continues to be a fierce advocate for him and all of her children.
My baby fighting cancer, leukemia, which is cancer of the blood in the bone. A year later, my baby is cancer free.
You gotta give her props for handling all of that while still slaying on stage. Oh, you thought Keke was gonna chill after Michael Jamar? Think again. Sis didn't waste any time, honey. She went straight back to her first love, Zachariah Daring. Yup, life has a funny way of bringing things full circle, and in 2018, those two lovebirds tied the knot again. And you already know what comes next. More babies. By 2022, they were welcoming baby number 2 together. Now picture this, a whole blended family under one roof with 11 kids, ranging from a little 6-month-old to a grown 21-year-old. Talk about chaos central. But hey, things seemed pretty calm with Zachariah, or at least that's what we all thought. This is Keke we're talking about. Anything can happen, and guess what? It did. In July of 2024, she wrapped up divorce number 3 with Zachariah.
A 14-year-old child laying in the bed dying that I gave birth to, and I'm an emotional toxic wreck. No, you are toxic and you are an emotional wreck.
So, does this mean we're on to hubby number 4 and baby number 12? Because if anyone can do it, it's Keke. Stay tuned. Now, if you're wondering what Keke's been up to professionally, let me remind you, this woman has a voice that can end careers.
She
In
does.
between all the husband hopping and baby
She does have a great
Keke
voice.
makes sure to stay relevant in the music game. She's dropped several albums, including her fan favorite, Rated Love, in 2016, proving that she still got it. And let's not forget her time on reality TV. If you're tuned into TV1's R&B Divas Atlanta, put your hands in the air. You know,
like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I have no words with her cousin, allegedly. I don't know if it's true or not, but if it is, wow.